Academic writing employs various techniques to convey ideas clearly, support arguments, and engage with existing literature. Here are some key types and techniques of academic writing. Types of academic writing. Essays. Argumentative essays. Present a case for a specific viewpoint, supported by evidence. Descriptive essays. Provide a detailed description of a topic or subject. Expository essays. Explain or inform about a topic through analysis or evaluation. Research papers. Original research papers. Report on original research findings. Review papers. Summarize existing literature on a particular topic. Dissertations and theses. Extensive research projects submitted as part of a graduate or doctoral program. Reports. Structured documents that present research findings or analysis, often including recommendations. Literature reviews. Analyze and summarize existing research on a specific topic, highlighting gaps in future research directions. Case studies. In-depth analyses of specific instances or cases to draw broader conclusions. Presentations. Visual and verbal summaries of research or findings, often used in academic conferences. Techniques in academic writing. Thesis statements. Clearly state the main argument or purpose of the writing, guiding the reader's expectations. Structured organization. Use clear sections and headings: introduction, body, conclusion to enhance readability. Cohesion and coherence. Ensure that ideas flow logically and are connected using transitional phrases. Critical analysis. Evaluate and interpret evidence rather than merely describing it, engage with sources critically. Quotations and citations. Use direct quote and paraphrasing from sources, following appropriate citation styles: APA, MLA, Chicago, etc. Formal tone and language. Maintain an objective, formal tone, avoid colloquial language and personal anecdotes. Evidence-based arguments. Support claims with empirical data, statistics, and scholarly sources to establish credibility. Clarifying definitions. Define key terms and concepts early on to avoid ambiguity. Paraphrasing. Restate information in your own words while maintaining the original meaning to demonstrate understanding. Critical engagement with sources. Analyze and discuss different viewpoints, highlighting strengths and weaknesses. Revising and editing. Review drafts for clarity, coherence, grammar, and adherence to academic standards. These techniques and types of academic writing can help effectively communicate complex ideas and contribute to scholarly discussions in your field of study. You said. Each with example. ChatGPT said. ChatGPT. Here's a detailed breakdown of different types of academic writing and techniques, along with examples for each. Types of academic writing. Essays. Argumentative essay. Example. In The Case Against Animal Testing, the author argues that animal testing is both unethical and ineffective. By presenting scientific studies that show alternative methods of research, the essay contends that humane alternatives should be utilized. Descriptive essay. Example. The Amazon rainforest is a vast expanse of greenery, teeming with life. Towering trees, vibrant flowers, and a cacophony of animal sounds create a rich tapestry of biodiversity that is unparalleled anywhere on Earth. Expository essay. Example. Climate change is a pressing global issue characterized by rising temperatures and shifting weather patterns. This essay examines its causes, such as greenhouse gas emissions, and discusses the implications for ecosystems and human societies. Research papers. Original research paper. Example. This study investigates the impact of urbanization on local bird populations. Through field observations and statistical analysis, the findings reveal a significant decline in species diversity in heavily urbanized areas. Review paper. Example. This literature review explores recent advancements in renewable energy technologies, highlighting key innovations in solar and wind energy and their potential for reducing carbon emissions. Dissertations and theses. Example. This dissertation analyzes the role of social media in shaping public opinion during political campaigns. The research includes surveys and interviews to assess the impact of social media on voter behavior. Reports. Example. The annual report on educational outcomes indicates a 10% increase in graduation rates in the district, attributed to new teaching methodologies and enhanced student support services. Literature reviews. Example. A review of the literature on cognitive behavioral therapy reveals that while effective for many patients, its efficacy can be influenced by individual factors such as age and severity of symptoms. Case studies. Example: this case study examines the turnaround strategy of company XYZ, which successfully revitalized its brand through targeted marketing and product innovation, resulting in a 30% increase in sales over 2 years. Presentations. Example: in a presentation at the academic conference, the researcher outlined the findings of their study on the effects of diet on mental health, using visual aids like graphs and charts to illustrate key points. Techniques in academic writing. Thesis statements. Example: this paper argues that renewable energy sources are essential for combating climate change and should be prioritized over fossil fuels in national policy. Structured organization. Example: a paper structured as follows. Introduction. Overview of climate change. Body. Section 1. Causes of climate change. Section 2. Effects on global weather patterns. Section 3. Mitigation strategies. Conclusion. Summary and call to action. Cohesion and coherence. Example: while renewable energy sources are gaining traction, fossil fuels still dominate. However, the transition to renewables is not just a trend, it is a necessity for sustainable development. Critical analysis. Example: while Smith 2020 argues that technology has improved educational access, this paper contends that it has also widened the digital divide, limiting access for low-income families. Quotations and citations. Example: as Johnson 2019 states, the rapid increase in global temperatures necessitates immediate action from both individuals and governments. p. 45. Formal tone and language. Example: this study will elucidate the complex interrelationships between economic growth and environmental sustainability, emphasizing the need for balanced policy frameworks. Evidence-based arguments. Example: research shows that students who engage in regular physical activity perform better academically, Jones et al., 2021, suggesting a direct correlation between health and educational outcomes. Clarifying definitions. Example: in this paper, sustainable development is defined as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Paraphrasing. Example: original: the economy is recovering slowly from the recession. Paraphrase: the economic recovery is proceeding at a gradual pace following the recession. Critical engagement with sources. Example: while many scholars agree on the importance of renewable energy, some, like Thompson 2020, question the feasibility of transitioning away from fossil fuels in the short term. Revising and editing. Example: after a first draft, the author revises the paper for clarity, ensuring that each paragraph supports the thesis and correcting grammatical errors. These examples illustrate how various types of academic writing and techniques can be applied to effectively communicate research and ideas in an academic context. You said. Important elements of each. ChatGPT said. ChatGPT. Here's a detailed look at the important elements of each type of academic writing and technique, providing a comprehensive understanding of their structure and function. Types of academic writing. Essays. Argumentative essay. Thesis statement. Clear stance on the topic. Evidence. Facts, statistics, and expert opinions to support the argument. Counter-arguments. Acknowledgement and refutation of opposing viewpoints. Conclusion. Restatement of the thesis and a summary of key points. Descriptive essay. Imagery. Use of sensory details to create vivid descriptions. Organized structure. Logical arrangement of descriptions, chronological, spatial. Theme. Underlying message or purpose of the description. Conclusion. Reflection or insight gained from the description. Expository essay. Clear thesis. Statement explaining the main point or topic. Supporting details. Facts, examples, and explanations to inform the reader. Logical structure. Organization into paragraphs with clear topic sentences. Conclusion. Summary of the information presented. Research papers. Original research paper. Abstract. Brief summary of the study and findings. Introduction. Background information and research question. Methodology. Description of research design and methods used. Results. Presentation of findings, often with tables or graphs. Discussion. Interpretation of results and implications. References. List of sources cited. Review paper. Comprehensive overview. Summarization of existing literature. Critical analysis. Evaluation of strengths and weaknesses of studies. Thematic organization. Grouping studies by themes or findings. Conclusions. Gaps in research and future directions. Dissertations and theses. Title page. Title, author's name, institution, and date. Abstract. Summary of the research and findings. Acknowledgements. Recognition of contributions and support. Literature review. Analysis of existing research on the topic. Methodology. Detailed account of research methods. Findings. Presentation of research results. Discussion. Interpretation and implications of findings. Conclusion. Summary of research contributions. Reports. Title. Clear and descriptive title of the report. Executive summary. Brief overview of the report's contents. Introduction. Purpose and scope of the report. Methodology. Explanation of how data was gathered. Findings. Detailed presentation of results. Recommendations. Suggested actions based on findings. Appendices. Supplementary material or data. Literature reviews. Purpose statement. Explanation of the review's objectives. Thematic organization. Grouping of studies by themes or methodologies. Critical evaluation. Assessment of the quality and relevance of studies. Conclusions. Identification of gaps in the literature and recommendations. Case studies. Introduction. Background information about the case. Case description. Detailed account of the case being studied. Analysis. Examination of the case in relation to theoretical concepts. Findings. Insights drawn from the case study. Conclusion. Summary and implications of the case study. Presentations. Title slide. Title of the presentation and presenter's name. Introduction slide. Overview of the topic and objectives. Content slides. Organized sections covering key points, often with visuals. Conclusion slide. Summary of key takeaways. Q&A slide. Invitation for audience questions. Techniques in academic writing. Thesis statements. Clarity. Clearly articulated argument or claim. Specificity. Focused on a specific aspect of the topic. Position. Indicates the writer's stance. Structured organization. Clear sections. Defined headings for introduction, body, and conclusion. Logical flow. Sequential arrangement of ideas in paragraphs. Paragraph structure. Each paragraph contains a main idea and supporting details. Cohesion and coherence. Transitions. Use of linking words to connect ideas. Consistent tone. Maintaining a uniform style throughout the writing. Referencing. Returning to key points to reinforce connections. Critical analysis. Evaluation. Assessing the significance and relevance of evidence. Comparison. Drawing connections between different sources or viewpoints. Interpretation. Offering insights into the implications of the findings. Quotations and citations. Attribution. Properly crediting original authors. Integration. Seamlessly incorporating quotes into the text. Citation style. Adhering to a specific citation format, APA, MLA, etc. Formal tone and language. Academic vocabulary. Use of specialized terms relevant to the field. Impersonal language. Avoiding first-person pronouns to maintain objectivity. Conciseness. Clear and direct language without unnecessary jargon. Evidence-based arguments. Data support. Use of empirical data to back claims. Referencing studies. Citing previous research to bolster arguments. Logical reasoning. Connecting evidence to claims in a rational manner. Clarifying definitions. Precision. Defining terms clearly to avoid ambiguity. Contextual relevance. Relating definitions to the specific argument or topic. Examples. Providing examples to illustrate defined terms. Paraphrasing. Originality. Restating information in new words while maintaining meaning. Citation. Properly attributing the original source even when paraphrased. Integration. Smoothly incorporating paraphrases into the text. Critical engagement with sources. Discussion. Analyzing differing viewpoints on a topic. Contextualization. Placing sources within the broader academic debate. Synthesis. combining insights from various sources to form a comprehensive understanding. Revising and editing. Content review, ensuring all arguments are well supported and relevant. Clarity check, eliminating ambiguous phrases and improving sentence structure. Proofreading, checking for grammatical, punctuation, and typographical errors. These elements are crucial for each type of academic writing and technique, ensuring clarity, coherence, and engagement with scholarly discourse. You said. Features of it. ChatGPT said. ChatGPT. Here are the key features of each type of academic writing and technique, emphasizing their distinctive characteristics and functions. Features of types of academic writing. Essays. Argumentative essay. Persuasive approach, aims to convince the reader of a specific viewpoint. Structured arguments, clear presentation of claims backed by evidence. Counter-arguments, addresses opposing views to strengthen the main argument. Descriptive essay. Sensory detail, rich, vivid descriptions that appeal to the senses. Focus on imagery, creates a picture in the reader's mind through detailed descriptions. Subjective experience, often reflects the writer's personal feelings or insights. Expository essay. Informative purpose, aims to explain or inform the reader about a topic. Logical structure, organized around key ideas or themes. Objective tone, focused on facts and information rather than personal opinions. Research papers. Original research paper. Empirical evidence, presents findings from original research or experiments. Detailed methodology, explains the research design and procedures used. Peer review, often subjected to scrutiny by other scholars before publication. Review paper. Synthesis of literature, summarizes and analyzes existing research on a topic. Critical evaluation, assesses the quality and contributions of different studies. Identification of gaps, highlights areas where further research is needed. Dissertations and theses. In-depth analysis, extensive exploration of a specific research question or hypothesis. Comprehensive structure, includes multiple chapters such as literature review, methodology, findings, and discussion. Formal presentation, adheres to specific formatting and citation guidelines. Reports. Clear purpose, designed to inform or guide decision-making. Concise language, straightforward and accessible writing style. Use of visuals, incorporates charts, graphs, and tables to present data effectively. Literature reviews. Thematic organization, groups studies by themes or topics for clarity. Comparative analysis, evaluates and contrasts different sources. Framework for future research, provides context and justification for further studies. Case studies. Real-world context, focuses on specific instances or examples in detail. Multi-method approach, utilizes various data sources, qualitative and quantitative. Practical implications, offers insights that can be applied to similar situations or problems. Presentations. Visual aids, incorporates slides, charts, and images to enhance understanding. Engagement techniques, uses questions and interactive elements to involve the audience. Clear structure, organized into sections: introduction, body, conclusion, for coherence. Features of techniques in academic writing. Thesis statements. Argumentative foundation, establishes the main claim or argument of the paper. Clarity and precision, clearly articulates the writer's position. Guiding framework, serves as a roadmap for the paper's content. Structured organization. Logical flow, ensures ideas are presented in a coherent sequence. Defined sections, clear divisions between introduction, body, and conclusion. Paragraph unity, each paragraph focuses on a single idea or theme. Cohesion and coherence. Transition words, use of phrases that link ideas together smoothly. Consistent tone, maintains a uniform style throughout the writing. Clear referencing, returns to key points to reinforce connections. Critical analysis. Depth of understanding, goes beyond summarization to evaluate arguments. Balanced perspective, considers multiple viewpoints. Evidence-based assessment, supports analysis with credible sources. Quotations and citations. Attribution, properly credits original authors to avoid plagiarism. Integration techniques, seamlessly incorporates quotes into the narrative. Adherence to styles. Follows specific citation formats APA, MLA, etc. Formal tone and language. Academic vocabulary. Utilizes specialized language appropriate for the discipline. Objective writing. Avoids personal opinions in favor of evidence-based arguments. Conciseness. Focuses on clarity without unnecessary complexity. Evidence-based arguments. Data utilization. Incorporates empirical evidence to support claims. Referencing research. Cites studies and data to back assertions. Logical reasoning. Connects evidence to arguments in a rational manner. Clarifying definitions. Precision in language. Clearly defines terms to ensure understanding. Contextual relevance. Relates definitions to the main argument or topic. Examples for clarity. Provides examples to illustrate definitions. Paraphrasing. Rephrasing skills. Restates information in new words without changing meaning. Citation requirements. Properly attributes the original source. Integration. Smoothly incorporates paraphrases into the writing. Critical engagement with sources. In-depth discussion. Analyzes various perspectives on a topic. Contextualization. Places sources within the larger academic discourse. Synthesis of information. Combines insights from multiple sources. Revising and editing. Content review. Evaluates the relevance and support of arguments. Clarity improvements. Enhances sentence structure and word choice. Proofreading. Checks for grammatical and typographical errors. These features help distinguish each type of academic writing and the techniques used, facilitating effective communication and scholarly discourse. You said. All grammatical mistakes in academic writing development. ChatGPT said. ChatGPT. Here are common grammatical mistakes found in academic writing, along with explanations and examples to help you avoid them. Common grammatical mistakes in academic writing. Subject-verb agreement errors. Mistake. The subject and verb do not agree in number, singular, plural. Example. The group of students are attending the conference. Correction. The group of students is attending the conference. Comma splices. Mistake. Two independent clauses are joined with just a comma. Example. The study was conclusive, it proved the hypothesis. Correction. The study was conclusive, it proved the hypothesis. Or, the study was conclusive, and it proved the hypothesis. Run-on sentences. Mistake. Two or more independent clauses are incorrectly joined. Example. The research was extensive, it covered multiple disciplines. Correction. The research was extensive, it covered multiple disciplines. Or, the research was extensive, and it covered multiple disciplines. Misplaced modifiers. Mistake. A modifier is placed too far from the word it modifies, leading to confusion. Example. The researcher nearly interviewed 50 participants. Correction. The researcher interviewed nearly 50 participants. Dangling participles. Mistake. A participial phrase that does not clearly relate to a subject in the sentence. Example. Walking down the street, the flowers were beautiful. Correction. Walking down the street, I saw beautiful flowers. Pronoun antecedent agreement errors. Mistake. A pronoun does not agree with its antecedent in number or gender. Example. Each student must submit their report by Friday. Correction. Each student must submit his or her report by Friday. Improper use of apostrophes. Mistake. Incorrectly using apostrophes for possessive nouns or contractions. Example. The data shows a significant trend. Correction. The data show a significant trend. Inconsistent tenses. Mistake. Switching tenses within a sentence or paragraph inconsistently. Example. The study shows that students improved their grades, and they were more engaged. Correction. The study shows that students improve their grades and are more engaged. Faulty parallelism. Mistake. Unequal grammatical structures within a list or comparison. Example. The study aims to analyze the data, improve teaching methods, and how to engage students. Correction. The study aims to analyze the data, improve teaching methods, and engage students. Wordiness and redundancy. Mistake. Using unnecessary words that add little meaning. Example. Due to the fact that the results were inconclusive, the experiment was deemed a failure. Correction. Because the results were inconclusive, the experiment was deemed a failure. Incorrect use of less versus fewer. Mistake. Confusing countable and uncountable nouns. Example. There are less students in the class this semester. Correction. There are fewer students in the class this semester. Misuse of which and that. Mistake. Using which for restrictive clauses and that for non-restrictive clauses incorrectly. Example. The results which were published in the journal were groundbreaking. Correction. The results that were published in the journal were groundbreaking. Using passive voice excessively. Mistake. Overusing the passive voice can make writing less clear and engaging. Example. The experiment was conducted by the researchers. Correction. The researchers conducted the experiment. Improper quotation integration. Mistake. Failing to properly introduce or integrate quotes into the text. Example. According to Smith, the results are significant. This means that. Correction. Smith argues that the results are significant, indicating that. Confusing it's and its. Mistake. Mixing up the contraction it is with the possessive its. Example. The study lost its credibility after the findings were questioned. Correction. The study lost its credibility after the findings were questioned. Tips to avoid grammatical mistakes. Proofreading. Always review your writing to catch grammatical errors. Read aloud. Hearing your writing can help identify awkward phrasing and errors. Use grammar tools. Consider using grammar checking software or tools to catch mistakes. Seek feedback. Have peers or mentors review your work for grammatical accuracy. Practice regularly. Engage in exercises focused on grammar to strengthen your skills. By being mindful of these common mistakes and incorporating good writing practices, you can enhance the clarity and professionalism of your academic writing. You said. Other mistakes. ChatGPT said. ChatGPT. In addition to grammatical errors, academic writing can often suffer from various other mistakes that can undermine clarity, coherence, and overall quality. Here are some common types of mistakes found in academic writing. Common mistakes in academic writing. Lack of clarity. Mistake. Using vague or ambiguous language that confuses the reader. Example. Many people believe this is important. Correction. A significant number of researchers believe that early intervention is crucial for child development. Poor structure. Mistake. Failing to follow a logical order or outline in the paper. Example. Jumping between unrelated topics without clear transitions. Correction. Create a detailed outline to guide the flow of your argument and ensure each section connects logically. Weak thesis statement. Mistake. Presenting a vague or overly broad thesis that doesn't guide the paper effectively. Example. This paper will discuss various topics. Correction. This paper will analyze the impact of climate change on biodiversity in tropical ecosystems. Overgeneralization. Mistake. Making broad claims without sufficient evidence or qualification. Example. All students struggle with time management. Correction. Many students, particularly those balancing work and study, often struggle with time management. Inconsistent tone. Mistake. Switching between formal and informal language, leading to an inconsistent tone. Example. This study shows some cool stuff about learning. Correction. This study reveals significant insights regarding effective learning strategies. Failure to cite sources properly. Mistake. Inadequately or incorrectly citing sources, leading to potential plagiarism. Example. Not including a citation for borrowed ideas or data. Correction. Ensure all sources are cited according to the required citation style APA, MLA, Chicago, etc. Ignoring guidelines. Mistake. Not adhering to specific formatting, length, or style guidelines set by the institution or publisher. Example. Submitting a paper that does not follow the required font size or margin specifications. Correction. Carefully read and follow all provided guidelines before submission. Lack of evidence. Mistake. Making claims without supporting them with evidence or examples. Example. Effective leadership is essential for team success. Correction. Research indicates that effective leadership is associated with higher team performance. Smith, 2022. Overuse of jargon. Mistake. Using excessive technical terms that may alienate or confuse the reader. Example. The interaction of endogenous variables leads to nonlinear dynamic programming. Correction. The interaction of internal factors can complicate decision-making processes. Inadequate conclusion. Mistake. Ending without summarizing key points or implications of the research. Example. In conclusion, I have discussed various aspects. Correction. In conclusion, this study highlights the importance of early intervention in child development and suggests further research in this area. Overly complex sentences. Mistake. Writing long, convoluted sentences that are hard to follow. Example. Despite the fact that there are numerous studies that have been conducted on this topic, the results have not been conclusive and further investigation is required. Correction. Although many studies have explored this topic, their results remain inconclusive, indicating a need for further investigation. Unclear referencing. Mistake. Failing to clearly indicate the source of specific information or ideas. Example. This concept is widely accepted in literature. Correction. This concept is widely accepted in literature. Johnson, 2021. Inconsistent terminology. Mistake. Using different terms for the same concept without explanation. Example. Referring to climate change in one part and global warming in another without clarity. Correction. Use consistent terminology or clearly define any differences in meaning. Neglecting audience. Mistake. Failing to consider the target audience's knowledge level and interests. Example. Writing highly specialized content without explanation for a general audience. Correction. Tailor your writing to the expected audience's background and knowledge level. Failure to revise. Mistake. Submitting work without adequate revisions or edits. Example. Submitting a paper with obvious typos or errors. Correction. Allocate time for multiple revisions to enhance clarity, coherence, and correctness. Repetitiveness. Mistake. Repeating the same ideas or phrases without adding value. Example. In conclusion, the conclusion of this study is that. Correction. In conclusion, this study demonstrates that. Tips to avoid these mistakes. Plan ahead. Create a detailed outline before writing. Revise thoroughly. Dedicate time for revisions to ensure clarity and coherence. Seek feedback. Share drafts with peers or mentors for constructive criticism. Read widely. Familiarize yourself with effective academic writing in your field. Stay informed. Keep updated on citation and formatting styles relevant to your discipline. By recognizing and addressing these common mistakes, you can improve the quality of your academic writing and ensure that your arguments are presented clearly and effectively. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.